Alright, thought I'd do a video here. Hopefully it'll focus. And there we go. 427 turbo, twin turbo. I think I'm going to do a twin on this one. Slowly getting it together now. This is the last piston to go in. Thought I'd do a short video on it. Fully floating, two double C-clips on each side. Little spring clips they're in. If you're doing something like this, any type of motor, I highly recommend you use a real spring compressor, not one like that. Those are awful. This is about a $40 part from Total Steel, but it is a legitimate spring compressor, and that one does from 4-inch bore to 4-on-20. I'm getting away with the 4-on-25. They told me it'd work. So I've all sized the rings. Rings upper and lower on the compression are at 22 thousandths, almost 23, 22 and a half-ish. And the bottom rails are obviously unmodified. I checked gap on them just to make sure on the rails. Expander is fine. Rails are about 18 thousandths. But we're about ready to drop this last one in. And we'll do it. Let's see if I can manipulate everything all at the same time here. I've already pre-oiled the bore. As you can tell, I've got my rod bearing in. I've got my assembly lube on that there. I just set this Total Seal spring compressor on. And, wow, hold on one second, because I try to do this one-handed. Okay, just set it right down in the square in the bore. And then start to wiggle it down in there. And then I'll have to pick it up for just 1 second to size it around it. We're going to pick it up and carefully wiggle. Sorry, I can't hold my camera at the same time. There we go. So now we've got it around it. Drop in our piston back how we had it oriented. There we are. And compared to the other spring compressor or ring compressor, this is ridiculously easy. So you just put it in there. I've already sized it. You just push it down. Now that I've said that, it's catching on something. There it is. You just shove it with your fingers. It's flush at the deck right there. And let's give it a little push harder now. What am I caught on? Oh, I've got the rod up. That's why. I thought I had it on the bottom dead center, but I have it on top dead center, so that would be why it's at the top. So that's it, and then we'll rotate this puppy over. Bring it around to the bottom. Okay, sorry, a lot of heavy stuff here trying to hold my phone. Doesn't work so well. But anyway, I'm just going to center up the bearing. The bearing's trying to come out of it a little bit. It should correct itself anyway when I put it in, but for now I'm just going to carefully push this bearing back into its, so it's centered up on the tang. Okay. Perfect. Load the last cap here. Very carefully. These are all being clean. I mean, these are fresh out of the pack. Trying to work as cleanly as possible is like critical, so you don't get a bunch of crap in your engine when you start it up. I had these sized in plastic gauge. I know that they're the right size. Just getting some stuff in there a little more. Or a lot more. Hey, why not? Trying to hold the camera, I just freaking clobbered that with assembly lube. Hey, we like that though. A little extra lube, it ain't gonna hurt nothing now, is it? Never hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, bring our cap over. It's gonna be a little more interesting reach. You wanna make sure you get tang. By the tang, I mean right there where the rod bearing slips in, and also it'll index your radius side. Your larger radius right here goes to the outside of your crankshaft. So I've got to go to the outside. The skinnier radius or the sharper edge radius goes to the matching rod next to it. So if that being the case, that tang there should go on the bottom, and that's the way that one is down there. So on there, just kind of seat it up for now. These are the focus up ARP 2000s. They're made for Scat. Scat gets their name on them. I think Eagle and everybody else has them too. Their special name on them, even though they're ARP 2000s. Okay. Just getting that in there. I really messed that up. I usually put this on bottom dead center. It makes it easier for this process here. But what we're going to do now is just carefully set that down. 1 second. Okay, that was exciting, looking at my workbench. Okay, we're just going to carefully run these puppies on down here. This is a horrible video, I know. This takes a lot. You need 2 people to film a video for this kind of crap. This damn phone won't stay focused. It drives me nuts. Okay, let's get snug. Jeez, what a joke. Okay. I'm not torquing these at the moment. I'm just running them up snug. And I will go back and put the ARP wants you to put a special grease on them, their own moly grease, as you torque these. So again, I'm just torquing them up snug. I'm going to go back through, pull each one, load it with grease, and torque it appropriately. That's it. I'll laid her in there, and we'll spin it back over here. One-handed flip. Ah, it's not easy. Holding the iPhone. Starting to not like my iPhone. Starting to annoy me. I don't know, maybe I'll change it up. Apple's got nothing new. Alright, making sure all our numbers look the same. We don't got an upside down piston. This particular side of this should be the driver's side head. Got to make sure your exhaust valve is facing forward. Exhaust, 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 and intake on the back, where it's different on the other side. This is, I just got it on here for tickles and kicks. But that's the AFR head, one of them. And one thing I haven't got my cam made yet. That's being made by Comp Cams. I just had them grind another grind for this one here. We're going to be putting in our next video. We'll kind of go over revitalizing this 347. I've got bored of it, so I got another cam for it. It's a custom grind. Should take up my RPM bracket, get rid of the E cam that's in it, and I've also got all new springs for it. These are Comp Cam's Beehive spring. It's going to load that load a little bit harder. I was having floating issues. I can't get the motor to really build power or anything over about 58 or 56. It floats. So new hydraulic roller cam. It's custom ground. I've got that. Let me show you. I've got the card for it here. Here's the cam. And this was a custom ground. I actually sat down with a guy at Comp Cams. I was in Tennessee for business and in Memphis and sat down. So this is it's an even intake and exhaust duration at 234 at 50 and a lobe separation 114 degrees, which is what he recommended for the turbo cam. But what else here? Lift on this, we have 1.7 rockers on it, so the lift will come out about 538. Which I didn't want the lift to get too much bigger. I don't really need any more lift, but I wanted to not have any piston to valve issues. But anyway, so that's a hydraulic roller, all fresh ground for that custom made application. Then I've got some other goodies too to bring this back to life. This is a box from Summit. These are studs for that motor, and this is for this car. We've got our AEM water meth we're going to put in it, and I have an extra injector. I'm going to run twin injectors just because I want to be able to fog a better pattern in it. But anyway, so I'm going to remount the battery to the trunk, or whatever you call it. It's not really a trunk, but you know what I'm saying. Battery's going to go back here, water meth will go up there, and new cam, springs, and hopefully it'll bring this thing. I mean, it still makes great power. I'm just wanting to change it up while I build this motor. This motor's still going to be a while before it's done, just based on the parts expense. Mechanical roller lifters, $400. Camshaft custom grind, $300 and something. Push rods, rocker arms that are up to the task. These are insanely. This is a solid roller head. The head's set up for solid roller with these springs, and they're about 300 pounds on the seat, somewhere in that range. It's ridiculously, and these are good for 3/4 of an inch of lift. Their max rating 780, 780 thousandths of lift. So they're a monster. But these are 90% of their airflow at about 650 lift. So you only get about 10% more airflow as you push that from 650 all the way to 780. So I'm going to keep this right around 650, being that at 90% efficiency with the valve open that much boosted. I don't think it's not worth the extra stress on the valve train to push it harder. So I do need to put 50,000 shims under here to load these springs a little better. Since I'm not going to use the full maximum lift potential of these springs, I'm going to put a 50,000 shim just to get the seat pressure higher at close, and it'll be a little closer to what I want to do with it. So yeah, we sized all these at 22 thousandths, top and bottom compression rings. I think I said that already. That was on Total Seal's recommendation. These are conventional rings. So again, lots more expense to go into this motor before it's ready to roll. But I'm slowly acquiring the parts, and we'll get it going. But anyway, I'm excited to do something else to this and get the out here in Utah, the summers are pretty brutal on air intake temps. So I've been really conservative with it, and my timing is pulled pretty consistently as the air intake goes up. So it sucks. You're driving around for 15 minutes and you know you're less power because I've pulled 5-6 degrees of timing just for the air intake temp. So if I can get those air intake, with the water meth, the air intake temp should be much better, and the octane rating, or basically race gas, out of premium. So that should really help that out, and I might even go in and retune it completely just to get a little more power out of the water meth setup on it. Anyway, that's a long enough video for now.